Good morning, I'm John Dickerson. This Thursday, all eyes will be on Capitol Hill, where the former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton will testify in front of the House committee investigating the September 11, 2012 attacks in Benghazi, Libya. That attack resulted in the deaths of 4 Americans, including Ambassador Chris Stevens. We're joined now by the chairman of that committee, Republican Trey Gowdy, who is in Clemson, South Carolina this morning. Good morning, Mr. Chairman. I want to talk to you about some people from your own party who've talked about this committee. You're familiar with their remarks, but House Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy has suggested that this committee has driven down Hillary Clinton's poll numbers. Richard Hanna, a Republican congressman from New York, said explicitly that this was a political investigation. A former investigator on your team has said that this was a politically motivated investigation. Why would all these people say that?
I guess because they don't have any idea what the facts are, John. If you look at the facts, we have done 50 witnesses, one of whom you could argue was exclusively related to her email, and that was the shortest interview we have done. We have 50,000 new documents. Less than 5% have anything to do with Secretary Clinton. She's an important witness, but she is one witness. And by the time we're through, John, we will have interviewed 70 witnesses. So she's one out of the 70. I get that she gets more attention than the other 69. But frankly, if you ask me, the eyewitnesses on the ground that night in Benghazi are more important to me as a former prosecutor than the former Secretary of State.
As a former prosecutor, if you looked at the evidence from Republicans in your own party who said this is a political committee, wouldn't that be enough to at least start an investigation into whether this is a politically motivated? I mean, it's a pretty big body of evidence.
Actually, there's no evidence. There are 3 people who don't have any idea what they're talking about. 2 of my colleagues, the 2 Republican members of the conference, have never asked for an update on our committee. They couldn't name 3 witnesses we've talked to. They couldn't tell you a single document production that we have received. And the former staffer left in June, so he has no idea what we've done since June. And his allegation about Secretary Clinton, he never said until he sat down with somebody in your profession last Friday. So these 3 wouldn't even be called as a witness in my former job because they have no firsthand knowledge.
Let me ask you, you told the New York Times that you had asked Speaker Boehner to allow another committee to focus on the Clinton emails because you worried that it would distract from the work of your committee. Have your fears been realized?
Well, I don't know. I mean, other people are going to have to make that decision. I'll just tell you this, John. When Speaker Boehner called me, he never mentioned Secretary Clinton's name, not once. And my position's always been the same. 4 dead Americans is more than enough work for me. She's a witness. She was the Secretary of State. You have to talk to her. But we've already talked to 50 people not named Clinton. We're going to talk to another couple of dozen not named Clinton. So I understand that there's more attention associated with her. But from my perspective, I am much more interested in Chris Stevens' emails, which we just received, than I am her emails, which we just received.